Okay, so I bought a GT500. I'm really excited about this car. I wanted a newer car, something with AC. None of my other stuff has AC and it's been kind of hot in California. At least that was the excuse that I used to purchase this car. It also has heat, it has cruise control, it has power windows. It's just a really comfortable car. And these S197s are relatively inexpensive now. I got this one for close to 20 grand. There are other ones out there. This one kind of has high mileage. It's right at 110,000 miles. But I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to get a GT500 or a Boss 302. And ultimately, I went with the GT500, and I couldn't be happier. I love this car. It's just a great car. This is a 2008 GT500. They came out in 2007. This is made by Ford, not by Shelby American in Vegas. Like I said, 2007 was the first year. Had a supercharged 5.4 liter dual overhead cam. It does not have variable cam timing, so you don't have to worry about cam phasers with this. These are really good engines, but I would say this is kind of a project car because there are some things that I need to fix on this car since it has such high mileage. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this car. We'll start by looking under the hood. All right, so here it is. Here's the heart and soul of this car. I love this engine. It's hand built. It's got a little placard here with the signatures on it from who built it. Supercharged 5.4 liter dual overhead cam. There are a couple modifications underneath the hood here. We have this cold air intake. Pretty sure it's by Ford Racing, back when it was called Ford Racing. And this strut tower is a stronger strut tower. It also says Ford Racing on there. So I've been told that it came on a KR or something like that. I'm not sure, but under the hood, limited modifications, which I'm happy about. All right, so let's go ahead and fire this thing up and see how it sounds. All right, so let's talk about the outside of this car. It's mostly stock. Somebody did add some chrome rims to it and painted the calipers red. I'm not super fan of the chrome rims, so I'll be on the lookout for some factory style rims to put back on this thing. Moving over here towards the front, these stripes are factory stripes, but from the factory they normally come over the bumper, so I'm going to be on the lookout for getting the bumper stripes. And also I have a replacement splitter already. You can see one of the previous owners must have bumped into some curbs a couple of times, and this I think has been repainted. That's probably why the stripe is off of it. It's got some dings in it, which is expected for a car that's got 110,000 miles. On the back we kind of have the same deal going on. I don't know if this has been repainted, but I think it's missing a bracket or something on there, but the stripes would normally go over the back bumper. And as you heard in the sound video, this has Flowmaster exhaust on it. Now that we've seen the outside of the car, let's go ahead and take a look at the inside and take this thing for a drive. Inside the car is mostly stock. Still got the factory Shaker 1000 stereo. It's in pretty good shape. The interior is in pretty good shape, but there's a couple of things that I don't like that one of the previous owners did, and one of them is this shifter knob. I think it's a Shelby American shifter knob, but it feels huge in my hands, and I'm going to change that out with I'm looking for a factory one to put on there. And also somebody added this push button start, which I can't stand it. The way you start it is you put the key in, put it to the on position, and then you push the start button. The Shaker is missing these buttons right here, and the 08s had this chrome around there. The earlier ones didn't have the chrome, and I actually bought some buttons to try and see if they would fit on here. And just so everybody knows, they do not. They are not interchangeable. The buttons are not interchangeable. And as you may have heard when I started it, it sounds like the blend door is clicking a little bit, so that's going to be another one of the projects. One of the things I've already changed on this is it used to have a plaque in the center of this thing from Shelby American. Those are not factory. That's something that was added by one of the previous owners. And as you can see here, I don't know what was, there must have been something attached here. It may not be able to see it in the video, but there's some pretty good scratches right here on the dash. All right, so this car I think has lowering springs on it. Well, I know it has lowering springs on it. So going through some dips and going into curbs, plus with the splitter kind of angled down from hitting other curbs, it scrapes a little bit. So you got to be careful. Thinking about getting some coilovers and adding some coilovers so I can adjust the height a little bit. Right now it's kind of angled down, but this thing makes some cool blower noises. There's also an issue with the booster. You can hear it's like got a leak in the booster at a certain point with the brakes. I'm gonna have to put a new booster on this thing. This car is pretty comfortable. It's got good suspension. I can tell the difference. I've spent a lot of time driving SN95s, and I can tell the difference between driving this car and the SN95. Just the suspension is a lot more refined, a lot better refined. And like I said, this car has cruise control. It's got air conditioning. It's got heat that works. Something I can't say about any of my other Mustangs. One of my favorite parts about driving this car is getting on the on-ramp. So in conclusion, I love this car. I think that the S197s are a great deal right now. Even the GT, the 3 valves, I know they have some issues with the phasers, but they're relatively inexpensive for a V8 Mustang. And if you want a high mileage GT500 or Boss 302, I think these are great value. This one, yeah, needs some work. There's some projects that I'm going to do in the future, so stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you subscribe so you can see some of the projects that I'm going to be doing on this vehicle. Thanks for watching.